salary about 12 lakhs is required to pay only the marginal amount of tax equal to the amount of income above 12 lakh, so that his carry home is also 12 lakh of rupees. So he may earn incrementally more, but he'll still take back to his home 12 lakhs, and that increment on the incremental amount, the calculation is also very well explained. For instance, with an income of 12.10 lakh, rupees 10,000 is what he earns over the 12 lakh that he already earns. So for that 10,000 rupees, it will be paid as income tax only. Tax without marginal relief on that person earning 12.10 lakh would have been 61,500. So we have given the marginal relief where he, for the 10,000 rupees, he earns more than the 12 lakh. The 12 lakh is exempt from tax, but the 10,000 will have to be paid as tax. He would have ended up paying 61,500, whereas because of the marginal scheme that we've added into this scheme of income tax, he ends up paying only 10,000 rupees. So, and when income of rupees 12.20, only 20,000 will be paid, and he will still take the 12 lakh. Otherwise, the marginal relief, if not given, he would end up paying 63,500 rupees. So the marginal relief has been brought in for the incremental increase in pay. Sir, personal income tax has been reduced by way of rebate. This can be altered in the coming years. It may be done away with in the future years if income tax collection is lower. Was one of the questions asked by an honorable member here. Sir, I can only say, if you look at the track record, even during COVID, we did not raise tax. So where we have come up with a rebate in order to benefit the middle class, an element of suspicion is being brought in, saying, what if tomorrow you... I'm sorry, sir. Sorry? Sorry?
On petroleum products, didn't you bring cess on doing quit?
On petroleum products? Excuse me, sir. I will answer what I've heard till now, but if members want to ask these questions, I will also point out to them. Citizens are our citizens. I have not raised any rates on any item, nor did I increase income tax. But if fuel is being brought to discussion, and that too by honorable member from Tamil Nadu, I will say their manifesto promised. They have not fulfilled their promise, and he is asking me questions. Amazing. So, sir, N.K. Premachandran ji has said collections in personal income tax have shown considerable buoyancy in the last few years. His question was, how are you showing income tax collection growth while giving 1 lakh crore revenue foregone? I want to let the honorable member know, N.K. Premachandran ji, the calculations are not done without taking these 1 lakh foregone, income tax reduction. We've spent a lot of time, and most often, in fact, I would want you to please look at the last 5-6 years of the budgets. I've been accused of underestimating, never overestimating, but I have replied each time saying our calculations are realistic. And that is what I will use to explain in answering your question. Collections in personal income tax have shown considerable buoyancy, sir, in the last few years. They have been increasing around 20% year on year. For the year 25-26, the income tax, personal income tax projection is 13.6 lakh crores. The RE for 24-25, I'm talking of the projected, which is BE for 25-26, is 13.6 lakh crores. The RE of the year that we are completing, which is completing on 31st March now, is 12.2 lakh crores. So 12.2 lakh and going to a BE of 13.6 is done with a certain realistic calculation. The projection, sir, of growth for 25-26 is around 13.14%. The effective dip of around 7% in personal income tax growth is on account of the factoring in of the revenue foregone, which is 1 lakh. So the dip is already shown for the 1 lakh crore which is being foregone. So the calculation is after showing the dip. And that is why it is a realistic number. So the projected collections for income tax for 25-26 are based on sound data.
जनता को पैसा दिया है 1.5 लाख करोड़
Sir,
हमारी खर्च
income tax receipts
आपको भी मिला है.
So the growth rate question which Sri N.K. Premchandranji raised, I think I have sort of answered it. I'll now move to the privacy issues, sir, which people have raised. Privacy issues, which is not so much the finance bill related matter. It is a matter which is being taken up from the new income tax bill, which is with the select committee. But I want to assure the honorable member that a provision particularly to look at the data exists in the current environment, particularly in certain cases of search and seizure authorized by the competent authority, where access code is not available and the person concerned is not cooperating with the proceedings, the authorized officer may gain access to such computer system exists even now. Now it is now being specifically brought in and mentioned in the new bill because what is mentioned in the 1961 Income Tax Act is books of account physically kept, and then the ledgers, and every manual record which will show about your income, your expenditure, your monies and all that is specifically mentioned. And since the 1961 Act does not mention the digital, most often it becomes contentious. People go to the court or question, all right, I've shown you my ledger, but why do you want my passcode so you will see my digital? Becomes an issue. So in order that what prevails now with a gap, that gap is getting filled up in the new income tax, which is before the bill, which is before the select committee. So in this, I will take a minute to explain as to why that digital thing will have to be brought in. Sir, encrypted messages and mobile phones, unaccounted money to the extent of 250 crores have been detected when the encryption has been decoded. One. Second, evidences which have been seized from WhatsApp messages, particularly crypto assets worth more than 90 crores, and the network of people involved in it have all come out of WhatsApp messages. Now, if the law does not give you the legal backing, in spite of the fact and evidence being in your face, you will have to go stand in the court to say, yes, but the law doesn't provide, but the evidence is here, the money is being misused, it is unaccounted money. It becomes tedious. And therefore, the digital element has to be brought in. I'll bring in one more example, sir. WhatsApp communications and incriminating materials found from such conversations helped to unearth the syndicate and identify the end beneficiaries of bogus bills worth 200 crores. So do I go to the court again saying, but the law doesn't allow me to look at WhatsApp messages? So we need to bring in. There's also another example, sir. Capital gains of 150 crore on sale of land was reduced to 2 crores by creating false documents of land cost of acquisition and also using all payments in banks statements as claims of investments and improved expenditure. So the WhatsApp group of key persons include many professionals also, unfortunately. So we had to contemplate on how to be lawfully on the side of law to say that these are evidences which are incriminating in themselves. Therefore, it has been brought in. I can also give one more, which is evidences have been found with the help of Google Map History. So in the case of Google Map History, sir, found on the phone was used to determine the frequented locations of individuals who enabled location history. This enabled detection of hideouts where cash and unaccounted transactions are kept, and that also came of help. So there is a need for us to change or add the digital elements into the Act itself. So one last example for that, sir. The prohibition of Binami properties, Instagram accounts was used to establish the beneficial ownership of vehicles. Expensive vehicles, no ownership details, track it at the going backward and forward. We could break the case by using Instagram. So benefit of technology for the sake of country's exchequer. So then questions about pending appeal cases, that CBDT has poor dispute management and pursues all cases. So I would like to say, sir, in order to reduce the number of pending appeals, several measures have been taken by the CBDT. One such a thing is the enhancement of monetary limits for filing of appeals by the department before the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, High Court or the Supreme Court. Creation of new posts of joint commissioners for appeals exclusively. Also, we came up with the direct tax Vivad Se Vishwas scheme in 2020 and also in 2024. Twice we brought this, and this has helped in reducing the pending appeals. And the famous, or not so famous, repetitive appeal. A new section 158AB is inserted so as to provide that if a question of law in the case of an assessee is identical to a question of law pending in appeal before the jurisdictional High Court or the Supreme Court, or in any case, the filing of further appeal to the appellate tribunal or the jurisdictional High Court in the case of assessee shall be deferred till such a question of law is decided by that relevant court. So that's been a major step in holding the department back, the CBDT back, from going into a case which is already, a similar such case is already in a court. We don't want to pursue it. We'll wait for the final verdict to come from there. So also there was this question by Mohammed Bashir ji, dispute resolution mechanism of department is very poor. So I want to inform the member that the dispute resolution mechanism following the measures that we've taken, provided we've brought in a provision of updated returns, and that's been introduced for voluntary compliance. Sir, I'm sure the honorable members will be aware that we had already enabled updated additional updated returns so that assessees can correct the not declared income when they want to modify their assessments. For within the first year, if you modify and come up, we only say pay 25% additionally. And if the second year they come up, we say pay 50%. And these two, first year and second year modified amendments, provisions have actually been well received by the assessees. So we are encouraged to bring in the third year and the fourth year modified assessment provision for the benefit of the tax assessees, that when they came in the first year, they paid only 25%, second year they paid only 50%, third year they will be now given the option to choose, and they can just pay 60% and close the whole business, or the fourth year, if they want to modify, they pay 70%, and that is where the story would end. So the Dispute Resolution Committee has also been constituted. A taxpayer having taxable income of up to 50 lakh and disputed income of up to 10 lakh shall be eligible to approach the committee for relief, and therefore that element of uncertainty is being removed. E-verification system is also being brought in to increase voluntary tax compliance. E-verification system 2021 was notified in December 2021. I just wanted to highlight that, sir. We carried out a nudge campaign, sir. I'd like to inform the honorable members about it. This is in relation to assets and monies kept abroad. I'm sure the honorable members, many of them would recall that in 2018, my eminent predecessor, Sri Arun Jaitley, had made an announcement in the House that there is an agreement globally now to share information. India will be receiving a bulk of information of Indian accounts being held outside, and every year we shall use that, and where prosecution has to be, or where cases will have to be filed in the court, because not everybody's name and account number which comes in are of people who are holding tax evaded money. They can be genuine accounts also, because the stock that they send, the bulk, the data dump that they give us, has everybody's account in it. So using that, we have really been nudging taxpayers, saying we've got this information about your property abroad, about your deposits abroad. Would you want to look at it and come back to us? That has actually helped us, and I'd like to highlight how. We nudge the taxpayers to voluntarily disclose their foreign income and assets. SMSs and emails were sent to around 19,501 select taxpayers, asking them to review their income tax returns filed for the year 24-25 based on the information available on the income tax about their foreign deposits. The result of that campaign, I'm happy to share with the honorable members. Out of 19,501 taxpayers, a total of 11,162 taxpayers revised their returns and filled scheduled foreign assets form and declared an total assets of 11,259.29 crores, disclosing foreign income of also 154.42 crores. So the nudge campaign about properties abroad which have never been disclosed have been, because of the campaign, successfully at the ease of the tax assessee been declared, and also the monies due have been paid. In addition to this above, 883 taxpayers reviewed their IT returns and corrected their status from resident to non-resident. Even that correction happened because we were able to give them the facts and ask them to either accept or give us a reply about it. So in their revised return for the year 24-25, they have said, no, they are not residents, but they should actually be treated as non-residents. So due to this outreach, there was a ripple effect, sir. This resulted in an addition of 13,516 taxpayers declaring foreign assets worth 7,564 crores and foreign income of 353 crores, or approximately, that is, in their revised return for 24-25. So cumulatively, this simple nudge has resulted in declaration of foreign assets worth 29,208 crores and foreign income up to 1,089 crores in the Schedule FA by 30,161 taxpayers. So this attempt by the Government of India to make sure people who have not declared their assets can now declare it by us taking a proactive nudge-based approach. So I'm very happy that this step is being responded well by the assessees as well. Sir, I've already probably said enough on the TDS, but I just want to say one line. So the two pillars of TDS-related problems are non-filers and the search for the valid PAN number. So this finance bill, we have proposed to omit the section 206AB and section 206 CCA, under which higher rates of TDS and TCS were levied in cases where the deductee or collectee were non-filers. Most often, non-filers were the ones on whom action had to be taken because they collected the TDS but did not deposit with the government's account, or they did not show because PAN and Aadhaar card linkages were not available with them. So we have very clearly said, in order to reduce the compliance burden, particularly for very senior citizens, certain non-residents, etc., we have clearly kept on the PAN and Aadhaar, we have kept the non-residents and also senior citizens out, and this provision has also been brought under the omission category. So there was this question by several members, Vishal Dada Patil, Shri Vishnu Prasad, and also Shri Mohammad Bashir, as to why the two tax regimes should continue to run parallel. I just want to say, sir, it is a stated policy of the government to phase out exemptions, deductions, and other incentives, while at the same time gradually reduce the tax rates. And we have provided as an option rather than a forceful decision to say we are shutting down the open. We are not. We are running both in parallel so that people who benefit from the old regime can please continue to be so. I am not drawing them to the new regime till such a time they either have exhausted all the exemptions or they choose to come here because of the rates. So that is why both the regimes continue. Sir, Shri N.K. Premchandran ji spoke about why did you have to reduce the corporate tax? It is only benefiting the large corporates. That's not true, sir. It benefits many companies which are medium-sized and middle as well. But has it benefited India? Yes, it has. According to the World Investment Report 2023, India was the third largest recipient of greenfield investment projects globally, with about 1,008 greenfield projects announced. Additionally, the number of international project finance deals in India rose by 64%, making India the second largest recipient of such deals. So investments come, they create more jobs, entrepreneurial opportunities are available for middle class. All this has been made available because of the corporate tax reduction. Sir, I want to just highlight the fact that, on GST related issues, sir, several members spoke about issues related to GST. I just want to highlight, sir, that the allegation that the GST is not progressive is absolutely unfounded. It is not true at all. I would like to highlight how, sir. Wealthiest 20% of Indians contribute 41.4% household GST and 14% of the total GST. That is, wealthiest 20% of Indians contribute 41.4% of household GST and 14.2% of the total GST, while the bottom 50% contributes just 28% of household GST and 9.6% of the total GST. So this argument that it is not progressive is not right at all. The poorest 50% face an average effective GST rate of 7.3% only. Under the pre-GST regime, sir, the average indirect tax rate was around 15%, whereas as of March 2023, after the GST has been introduced, the average GST rate is just 12.2%. At the time of introduction, it was 15. In pre-GST, it was 15. Now it is only 12.2. Sir, I've repeatedly said several times that the taxes on ordinary people's daily use products are far lower. It have been brought down. I'm not going to take this August House's time by reading the list completely. I will probably put it on the table for any member to look at. NIPFP, a big research center, shows that the most consumer items face low or no GST taxes at all. Less than 3% of common consumption items attract the highest rate of 28%. So 28% tax is on only less than 3% of common man consumption items. Nearly 60% of consumption items face 5% or lower GST. So GST is exempted on several items, and I would like to broadly categorize them: unbranded food items, certain life-saving drugs, healthcare, education, public transport, sanitary napkins, hearing aid parts, agricultural services, etc. are completely exempt. So, several members seem to have said no discussion on reducing GST and reduce the number of slabs in this parliament. So the GST Council is a constitutional body. That's where the discussion happens. And subsequent to the decision taken by a group of ministers, and in that group of ministers, finance ministers of Bihar, UP, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Karnataka, and Kerala are all members of the committee. They are deciding on how to reduce GST and also reduce the number of slabs. Post that, if there are any amendments to be made in the CGST, we will come here. So the discussion on the reduction can be a part of the general discussion, but the actual discussion and the decision happens at the GST Council. So, sorry? Yes? Yes? Yeah, HSN code is something which the council will have to work with the authorities who decide on the codes. Sir, 5% GST is imposed on muscular atrophy drugs, where the cost of the drug is 80 lakhs for 1 year. This was Srimati Sangeeta Roy from AITC. I just want to highlight, sir, that the IGST on import of drugs for rare diseases, including muscular dystrophy, has been fully exempted when imported by the patients for personal use. So there cannot be a GST on it. So I just want the member to please hear this. Once again, I'll repeat that the import of drugs, the IGST on such imports for rare diseases, including muscular dystrophy, has been completely exempted for patients for their personal use. Second, they are also exempted for person or institution which are recommended under the listed centers of excellence for their research or for any other testing. So they are all exempt, sir. So they were questioned. Hebe Aiden had raised this question about how Lord Ayyappa's prasadam has been put under GST. And also talking about food prepared, like rice dumplings, are also under GST. I just want to say, sir, prasadams supplied by religious places, like temples, mosques, churches, gurudwaras, dargahs, are completely exempt from GST. I want the honorable members to kindly take note of this. They're completely exempt from GST. Sir, as regards reducing the rates on items in which the tax is being levied, as I said, there is a GOM which is looking into it, particularly for the food sector related queries. The GOM will take a call. So then, 18% GST on prosthetics is insensitive. Reduced GST on prosthetics and life-saving equipment was observed by one of the members. I just want to say, sir, from 2017 to 2022, like as it was before, the prosthetics attracted 12% GST till 22. Then in the 47th GST Council held in June 2022, the GST rate was reduced to 5%. Life-saving medical equipments, most medical devices such as X-ray apparatus, alpha, beta, gamma radiations for medical surgery or veterinary purposes attract concessional GST rate of 12%. Artificial parts of the body attract 5% only as GST. So I just want to be clear that GST is not levied on certain critical life-saving equipments. So there was this question about Suksham Sinchai, the micro irrigation. Devesh Shakya, member, asked this question. The GST rate on drip irrigation systems, including laterals, sprinklers and products, has been reduced from 18% to 12% as per the decision taken by the 25th GST Council meeting on 18 January 2018. On the GST cess, there was a DMK member, Malayarasan, sorry, the spelling is wrong here. Malayarasan ji had asked this question on GST compensation, sir. I think I've answered this question several times. GST compensation, first of all, let me make it clear. There is no due whatsoever to states on GST compensation. When they have sent the utilization certificate or audited certificate, not utilization, the auditor's AG's certificate, everybody's money has been given. The law itself says that after June 30th, 2022, there's no compensation cess. So we are not collecting. What we are collecting now is actually being collected to repay the debt that was taken during the COVID time. When there was no income to share, we had to borrow to give the states, and that is what is being collected now, and that's also should be ending by early 2026, which is another 7-8 months. So, on the GST or insurance, again, the GOM is looking at it, and they will come with a decision, and that can be taken up by the GST Council, so I'm not elaborating much on it. So, GST, again, like the temples, there has been this question about, are you levying GST on education and healthcare related items? Again, I want to explain, sir. Following are the exemptions that are already provided to the education sector. Services provided by an education institution to its students, faculty, and staff are completely exempt. Services by an education institution by way of conduct of entrance examination is exempted. The following services are also exempted. Services related to admission to or conduct of examination by such institutions are exempt. If provided to preschool or up to higher secondary schools, any service, such as transportation of students, transportation of faculty and staff, catering, including midday meal schemes sponsored by the central government or state government or the union territory, security or cleaning or housekeeping services performed in such education institutions are all exempt from GST. Supply of online educational journals or periodicals are exempt, and that is also provided for higher education institutions. Educational institution has also been defined. I just want to clearly say, so what is an educational institution? Defined as an institution providing services by way of preschool education, education up to higher secondary school or equivalent, education as a part of curriculum for obtaining qualification recognized by any law for the time being in force, and education as a part of an approved vocational education course. Similarly, sir, when it comes to health, GST is fully exempt on healthcare services provided by a clinical establishment, an authorized medical practitioner, or a paramedic, and healthcare services includes diagnosis for illness, injury, etc. in any recognized system of medicine in India, and that's been clearly stated in the Central Act as well. So there was this question about reduction of GST on agricultural inputs. I just again want to explain, sir. Seeds attract zero GST. There's no GST on seeds. 5% GST on fertilizers. Agricultural implements, manuals, manually operated or animal driven, and hand tools attract zero GST. And then tractors attract 12% GST. Agricultural pumps attract 12% GST. So a proposal to reduce GST on farm inputs like tractors from 12% to zero, farm inputs like drip irrigation system, other agricultural equipment, pesticides, fertilizers to zero was placed on the 45th GST Council meeting held on 17th September 2021, but the Council did not recommend it then in 2021. I want to just put that on record, but of course, now the group of ministers is looking into it. So the items will be looked at by the GOM and they will take a call, sir. Sir, there were several other questions related to the budget, not so much on to the finance bill. So I'm not taking those, except for the proposal so there were just one thing on which, although it doesn't relate to the finance bill, I will seek your indulgence. I'd like to answer this. Issue raised by Sri Neeraj Maurya about benefits to the vulnerable sections, SCs, STs, OBCs, in the government initiatives. I will have to list them out, sir. Please give me that few minutes. Sir, under PM Kisan, around 76% of the farmers are SC, ST and OBC. I'm not sure if Neeraj Maurya ji is here, but I can see his party members being here. I hope you convey this to him. Under PM Awas Urban, in the last decade, 1.18 crore houses have been built for the poor. Of that, 1.18 lakh crores is 1 crore and 18 lakh. 42 lakh have gone for OBCs, and 23 lakh houses have gone for scheduled castes. 60% of the houses under the PM Awas Yojana Gramin have been given to SC, STs. 33% of the loans under PM Mudra Yojana have gone to SC, ST, OBC-led enterprises. 70% of the beneficiaries under PM Swanidhi are SC, ST, OBCs. Stand Up India schemes, sir, which are helping the SC and ST entrepreneurs, 7,000 crores have been disbursed as loans for SC, STs. 65% of the loans under PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises is gone for SC, STs. And October 24, Honorable PM launched the Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan to address critical gaps in the social infrastructure, health, education and livelihood development in 63,800 tribal villages. And then the Janjatiya Gaurav Divas in 2023, which was announced, PM Modi launched PM Jan Man for targeted support to 75 particularly vulnerable tribal groups for whom they are residing in 18 states and one union territory for safe housing, clean drinking water, education, health, road and telecom connectivity, electrification and sustainable livelihoods. I seek your indulgence, sir. I would not go further explaining more. For those non-budget related questions which honorable members have raised, the benefits of PLI scheme and so on, I'm not elaborating more. K.C. Venugopal ji asked about the pay commission. I take this opportunity to explain. Sir, our government has always been sympathetic towards the employees and pensioners' issues. For the first time, this government has implemented the full parity between pensioners of pre and post 7th CPC, Central Pay Commission. Thus, all pensioners of the central government who had retired before 1/1/2016 are now drawing the same pension as employees who retired before 1/1/2016. That's the first one. Thus, the demand of pensioners regarding parity has been agreed to and implemented by our government under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Modi also approved the establishment of 8th Central Pay Commission to revise the salaries and benefits for central government employees in January 2025. Now, as regards the amendment, I'd like to highlight, just give a brief background so that Honorable Member Venugopal understands why this amendment. The 6th Central Pay Commission, sir, was an expert body that had threadbare examined all the issues, disparities, and even representations which were given by employees before making their recommendations. The 6th Pay Commission report was submitted in 2006. In March 2008, which thereafter, after careful consideration, was accepted by the government then, March 2008. The manner of fixing pension, which was recommended by the 6th Central Pay Commission, was similar to the previous CPCs. So, it was accepted then by the government in March 2008. By this amendment that we are bringing in, the government is actually restoring that which was accepted in March 2008, and the 6th Pay Commission recommendation therefore is being honored and respecting it as an expert body. That is what is the objective and the aim of this amendment which is being introduced in this. So 2008, Honorable Member Venugopal will know the government accepted it, and it is that which we are restoring today. Yes, because yes, I will. No, don't worry. I hear you. After 16 years. Oh, please, no. Please sit down. Honorable Member, please sit down. I'll tell you. Why is after 16 years, sir? Several court cases were going on. We had to wait for the verdict to come. And then we've gone back to saying, yes, now all the hearings are over, verdicts have been received. We are going back to honoring the decision which was taken in 2008. But in between there were litigation. How could I violate that? So I'm not misleading the House. Honorable Member Venugopal should please go back to analyzing if I've said anything wrong, and if this necessary amendment is reflective of a decision taken during their government. Thank you. Well, if you can cast out, yes, if you've done several wrong, we talk about it. We don't shy away. But this decision, which was, I don't need to hide. I'm saying it openly. I'm saying it before you. If it wasn't in the court, I would have done it earlier. Thank you, sir.
प्रश्न ये कि विधेयक पर विचार किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में विधेयक पर विचार करने तो प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हो गया। अब सभा विधेयक पर खंडवार विचार करेगी। श्री डीन कुरियाकोस संशोधन संख्या 1 से 4। प्रश्न ये कि श्री डीन कुरियाकोस द्वारा प्रस्तुत संख्या 1 से 4 स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में ना गए,
सर मूव नहीं कर रहे, मूव नहीं कर रहे,
ना गए,
सर मूव नहीं कर रहे ना, मूव नहीं कर रहे सर।
वालों के संशोधन अस्वीकृत हुआ। श्री स्वागत राय संशोधन संख्या 65 से 72।
Sir, I move my amendments. Page 4, line 7 to 7.
प्रश्न ये कि श्री स्वागत राय द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 65 से 72 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में, ना वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन अस्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 2 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 2 विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी संशोधन संख्या 25।
Sir, I move the 1 minute, sir. I move the amendment, sir, number 25.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 25 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हो हाँ कहे, जो विरोध में ना कहे। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 3 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहे। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 3 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। प्रश्न है कि खंड 4 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 4 विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी संशोधन संख्या 26-27।
Sir, I move the amendment number 26 and 27.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 26 और 27 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 5 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 5 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी संशोधन संख्या 28 से 23।
33, sir. So I move the amendment number 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 and 33.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 28 से 23 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। 28 से 33 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है खंड 6 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 6 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। प्रश्न है कि खंड 7 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 7 विधेयक का अंग बना। श्री स्वागत राय जी संशोधन संख्या 73।
Sir, I move amendment number 73, page 30, a substitution clause for lines 4 to 8. Sir, I would like the finance minister to clarify that the Americans are saying that the tariffs should be equalized. American team has arrived in Delhi.
प्रश्न ये कि स्वागत राय द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 73 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में, ना वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन अस्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न के खंड 8 और 9 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहे, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहे। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 8 और 9 विधेयक का अंग बना। स्वागत राय जी संशोधन संख्या 74।
I move amendments number 74 on page 30.
प्रश्न है कि श्री शौकत राय द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 74 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में, ना वालों के पक्ष संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 3 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष खंड 3 विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी, संशोधन संख्या 34।
Sir, I move the amendment number 34.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 34 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 11 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 11 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। प्रश्न है खंड 12 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य इसके विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 12 विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी, संशोधन संख्या 35 और 36।
Sir, I move the amendment number 35 and 36.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 35 और 36 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 13 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष खंड 13 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। प्रश्न है कि खंड 14 से 16 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष खंड 14 से 16 विधेयक का अंग बना। श्री शौकत राय जी, संशोधन संख्या 75।
Sir, I move amendment number 75 on page 34.
प्रश्न है कि शौकत राय जी द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 75 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहे, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहे। मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में, ना वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन अस्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है खंड 17 से 19 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 17 से 9 विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी, संशोधन संख्या 37।
I move the amendment number 37.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री जी द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 37 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में वो हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। श्री शौकत राय जी, संशोधन संख्या 76।
Sir, before I move the amendment number
प्रश्न है कि
76, sir,
शौकत राय जी द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 76 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में, ना वालों पर संशोधन अस्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न खंड 20 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 20 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। प्रश्न है कि खंड 21 और 22 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहे। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 21 और 22 विधेयक का अंग बने। माननीय मंत्री जी, प्रस्ताव प्रस्तुत करें।
Sir, I move the motion.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत प्रस्ताव को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हुआ। प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ। माननीय मंत्री जी, अब संशोधन संख्या 38 को प्रस्तुत करें। 38।
Sir, I move the amendment number 38.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 38 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि नया खंड 22A विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहे, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहे, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में नया खंड 22A विधेयक में जोड़ा गया। प्रश्न है कि खंड 23 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष खंड 23 विधेयक का अंग बने। श्री डीन कुरियाकोस, श्री एन के प्रेमचंद्र, संशोधन संख्या 6।
Sir, my amendment is regarding changing in the income tax slabs table. That table may be accepted. I am moving the amendment.
प्रश्न ये कि श्री एन के प्रेमचंद्र द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 6 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहे, जो इसके विरोध में ना कहे, मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में, ना वालों के पक्ष संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। स्वागत राय जी, संशोधन संख्या 77।
Sir, before I move amendment number 77 on page 38 lines 14 to 28, let me state
प्रश्न
that
है कि
this
स्वागत राय जी द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन 77 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य के पक्ष में वहां के, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में, ना वालों के संशोधन अस्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 24 से 36 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 24 से 36 विधेयक का अंग बने। माननीय मंत्री जी, संशोधन संख्या 39।
I move the amendment number 39.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 39 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 37 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 37 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। प्रश्न है कि खंड 38 और 39 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 38 और 39 विधेयक का अंग बना। श्री स्वागत राय जी, संशोधन संख्या 78।
sir, I move amendment
प्रश्न
number
ये कि स्वागत राय जी द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 78 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में है वो हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में, ना वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन अस्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न ये खंड 40 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 40 विधेयक का अंग बने। माननीय मंत्री जी, अब प्रस्ताव प्रस्तुत करें।
Sir, I move the motion.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री जी द्वारा प्रस्तुत प्रस्ताव को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ। माननीय मंत्री जी, अब संशोधन संख्या 40 को प्रस्तुत करें।
Sir, I move the amendment number 40.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 40 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि नया खंड 40A विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में नया खंड 40A विधेयक में जोड़ा दिया गया है। प्रश्न है कि खंड 41 से 46 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 41 से 46 विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी, संशोधन संख्या 41।
Sir, I move amendment number 41.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 41 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 47 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में है ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 47 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी, संशोधन संख्या 42 से 44।
Sir, I move the amendment 42, 43 and 44.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 42 से 44 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 48 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 48 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। माननीय मंत्री जी, प्रस्ताव प्रस्तुत करें।
I move the motion, sir.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री जी द्वारा प्रस्तुत प्रस्ताव को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ। माननीय मंत्री जी, अब संशोधन संख्या 45 प्रस्तुत करें। 45।
Sir, I move the amendment number 45.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 45 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि नया खंड 48A 48B विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में नया खंड 48A 48B विधेयक में जोड़ दिया गया है। माननीय मंत्री जी, संशोधन संख्या 46।
Sir, I move the amendment number 46.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 46 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 49 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 49 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी, संशोधन संख्या 47 और 48।
I move the amendment number 47 and 48.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 47 और 48 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 50 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 50 यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बना। माननीय मंत्री जी, अब प्रस्ताव प्रस्तुत करें।
Sir, I move the motion.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत प्रस्ताव को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ। माननीय मंत्री जी, अब संशोधन संख्या 49 को प्रस्तुत करें।
Sir, I move amendment number 49.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 49 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में वह संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि नया खंड 50A विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में नया खंड 50A विधेयक में जोड़ दिया गया है। प्रश्न है खंड 51 से 58 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 51 से 51 विधेयक का अंग बना। श्री सोगत राय जी, संशोधन संख्या 79।
Sir, I move the amendment number 79. The
प्रश्न है
American
कि
said, आप थोड़ा ख्याल रखिए, वो हमारा सब टैरिफ कम कराएगा।
प्रश्न है कि सोगत राय द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 79 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष हुआ, ना वालों के पक्ष हुआ, संशोधन अस्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि खंड 59 से 140 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में। खंड 59 से 140 विधेयक का अंग बने। माननीय मंत्री जी प्रस्ताव प्रस्तुत करें।
So I move the motion.
प्रश्न है कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत प्रस्ताव को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में। प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ। माननीय मंत्री जी अब संशोधन संख्या 50 प्रस्तुत करें।
So I move the amendment number 50.
श्री एन के प्रेमचंद्र, संशोधन संख्या 80।
Sir, before moving the amendment, I would like to raise a very serious point of order. Under Rule 219 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha, and under Article 110 and 117 of the Constitution of India. Sir, the proposed amendment by the Honorable Minister, by virtue of amendment number 50, is the amendment to the Finance Act and amendment to the validation of the Central Civil Service pension rules and principles of expenditure on pension and liabilities from the Consolidated Fund of India. That means this is a matter relating to the pension rules. It is nothing to do with Article 110, 1A or 1A to G and F of the Constitution of India. Sir, what is Article 110, 1A? So many times this House has debated on this issue. That is what is called a money bill. 110, 1A, it is very specific and clear that a money bill can be introduced only in the House of the People. Sir, I would like to quote 110 definition of a money bill. For the purpose of this chapter, a bill shall be deemed to be a money bill if it contains only provisions dealing with all or any of the following matters. I would like to stress the word only. What are the matters? The imposition, abolition, remission, alteration or regulation of any tax, the regulation of the borrowing of money, the custody of the consolidated fund or contingency fund, the appropriation of monies out of the Consolidated Fund of India, declaring any expenditure to be expenditure charged on the Consolidated Fund of India, and the receipt of money on account of the Consolidated Fund of India. And the last portion, that is the portion that is G, any matter incidental to or any of the matters specified in subclause A to F. Sir, this is the provision which is invoking by the Honorable Minister so as to put this amendment. There, I would like to relay one Kaul and Shakhtar. It is very clear that in Kaul and Shakhtar, it is specifically mentioned. Sir, one second. Regarding the Kaul, and it is updated version. It is also updated version. It is very clearly stated that money bill and financial bill is well distinguished. So I will quote one page 792 of the Kaul and Shakhtar. However, finance bill. However, it does not contain any provision intended to make permanent changes in the existing laws unless they are consequential upon or incidental to the taxation proposals. I would like to underline, unless these are consequential upon or incidental to the taxation proposals. Sir, here what is the amendment? The proposed amendment is, that is already the ministry has replied. Sir, one second, that is a matter. Through this amendment, I would like to highlight the matter. The thousands and lakhs of pensioners in the country, they are entitled to get the pensionary benefit in the revised Central Pay Commission. Suppose after 2026, the last pay commission. Sir, one second. Suppose it is not being applicable to the. So my point is, sir, this is, suppose if you are allowing this amendment, to be incorporated in the Finance Bill 2025. The character of the money will be changing. That is not applicable. There is a Supreme Court judgment of 2019. It's very specific. So the point of order may be clarified and it may not be allowed. That is my point of order. And subsequently, I will move the amendment.
N.K. प्रेमचंद्रन जी ने जो विषय उठाया है, रूल्स 219 की ओर मैं ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। रूल्स 219 में गैर कर प्रस्तावों को शामिल करने की संभावनाओं को नकारता नहीं है। इसलिए एक वित्त विधेयक में गैर कर प्रस्तावों को भी शामिल किए जा सकते हैं। अतीत में कई बार ऐसी हो चुकी है और ये परंपरा भी रही है। इसलिए मैं माननीय प्रेमचंद्रन जी ने जो व्यवस्था का प्रश्न उठाया है उसको निरस्त करता हूं। प्रश्न ये कि श्री N.K. प्रेमचंद्रन द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 80 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 50 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि नया खंड 141, 142, 143, 144, 145 विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड नया खंड 141, 142, 143, 144, 145 विधेयक में जोड़ दिया गया है। श्री N.K. प्रेमचंद्र जी संशोधन संख्या 7 से 22।
Sir, there are 16 proposed amendments, 16 amendments to first schedule. Out of which I would like to make only one point. That is,
okay.
Sir, regarding 10% is the tax at the deduction of the source. Let it be 3% for the
प्रश्न ये कि N.K. प्रेमचंद्र द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 7 से 72 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन अस्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न है कि पहली और दूसरी अनुसूची विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में पहली और दूसरी अनुसूची विधेयक का अंग बनी। श्री N.K. प्रेमचंद्र जी संशोधन संख्या 23 और 24।
Sir, these are two amendments to third schedule. Sir, one second. Cashew industry is facing severe crisis. Import duty on cashew.
प्रश्न ये है कि N.K. प्रेमचंद्र द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 23 और 24 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत है। माननीय मंत्री जी संशोधन संख्या 51 से 59।
Sir, I move the amendment number 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58 and 59.
प्रश्न ये कि माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तुत संशोधन संख्या 51 से 59 को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में संशोधन स्वीकृत हुआ। प्रश्न ये कि तीसरी अनुसूची यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में तीसरी अनुसूची यथा संशोधित विधेयक का अंग बनी। प्रश्न है कि खंड 1 अधिनियम सूत्र विधेयक का पूरा नाम विधेयक का अंग बने। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में